Jericho Appreciation Society. For over 5 weeks, the recognized symbol of excellence of sports entertainers.
Introducing the next competitor, Ryan Alston.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now today on the Ryan Awesome Show, we'll be talking about the Forbidden Door 2022 AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling joint show, The Forbidden Door. And man, oh man, what a freaking show. What a freaking show tonight, man. Awesome show. Nothing but bangers of matches, dude. Nothing but bangers of matches. Everybody freaking killed it tonight, man. Everybody killed it tonight. Claudio Castagnoli, the former Cesaro, made his AEW debut tonight as Zack Sabre Jr.'s mystery opponent. I thought they had a really great match. And also, Orange Cassidy and Will Ospreay, they had a really great match too. We have some new champions, the AEW Interim World Champion, Jon Moxley. We have a first ever All-Atlantic Champion in PAC. And then we have new IWGP Tag Team Champions and FTR. So they want all the gold in that winner takes all match. And so they made history tonight. New Japan Pro Wrestling being a part of this show, man, it actually made the show better, man. The Forbidden Door needs to be a yearly thing. Not only to have New Japan Pro Wrestling, have some other companies too, man. But tonight's show, it was a really great show. It was a really great show, and they should do the Forbidden Door every single year. That was pretty much it with the Forbidden Door. I'm going to talk more about it as I go through the show. AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling, the Forbidden Door 2022, the review on The Ryan Awesome Show. And I say this all the time, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel because I'm here each and every single week, man. We're live in Chicago, Illinois, in the United Center. I did watch the buy-in. So the buy-in for our first match in the buy-in, we had the Factory. We had the Factory, QT Marshall and Aaron Solo versus Yoshi, Hashi, and Hiroki Goto. So the entire night, man, Justin Roberts, he did the ring announcing. And then we had a Japanese ring announcer too. And so yeah, Taz and Excalibur and Kevin Kelly, they're on commentary. Kevin Kelly, he was from New Japan Pro Wrestling, and he also came from WWE too. A driven elbow drop to a Solo from Hashi and Goto to win the match, so therefore Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi wins the match. Really competitive match. There were points in this match that I thought that the Factory was going to win because QT, he had hit the Diamond Cutter at one point. And speaking of the Factory, right after that match, we had Nick Comoroto of the Factory versus Lance Archer, the Murder Hawk. Lance Archer. Archer, he landed right on top of his head with that cannonball on Nick. And so to end the match, Lance Archer hit his finishing move, the blackout, to Comoroto to win the match. So therefore, Lance Archer wins the match. Beefy match. I like to call it a beefy match because these are two big guys. Right after that, we had Suzuki-gun. So that's El Desperado and Yoshinobu Kanemaru versus Swerve in Our Glory. So that's Swerve, Strickland, and Keith Lee. Swerve, he accidentally took out Lee. And then the heels, they went right after Lee's leg. And so Kanemaru, he had spit whiskey in Keith Lee's eyes behind the referee's back. And so he went for the cover. Keith Lee kicked out. I thought that was it. And so, yeah, we had a draping stomp to Desperado from Swerve, draping from the ring apron. So that was really painful. And so to end the match, Keith Lee hit his finishing move. I think he still called it the Big Bang Catastrophe to Kanemaru from Lee to win the match. So therefore, Swerve in Our Glory wins the match. And so right after the match, Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs, they had spoke. You know, they're getting sick and tired that Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland, he calling themselves the best tag team in the world when they haven't beaten Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. And so right after that, we had the New Japan Dojo, students of the New Japan Dojo, the DKC, Kevin Knight, Alex Coughlin, and Yuya Uemura versus Max Caster and the Gunn Club. So that's Billy, Austin, and Colten Gunn with Anthony Bowens in their corner. Danhausen, he had played the Ass Boys. They custom made Ass Boys music. And so Colten and Austin, they were pissed off. And so they ran to the back and they never came back. And so Max and Billy, they had to fend for themselves. So the New Japan Dojo, they took control of the match. They ended up fighting back. Billy hit the famous the DKC, followed up by the mic drop from Max Caster to win the match. So therefore, Max Caster and Billy Gunn wins the match, and that was the main event of the buy-in. This is a very fun match too. So yeah, now the main show we had a trios match, and it was Chris Jericho, Le Champion, or he don't even call himself that anymore. Chris Jericho, the Wizard, Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Minoru Suzuki with Ty Conti in their corner versus Shota, Umino, Wheeler Yuta, who is the Ring of Honor Pure Champion, and Eddie Kingston. So yeah, so the winner of this match will get a one-man advantage in the Blood and Guts match. Yuta, he had took out Jericho with German suplexes, and so the crowd had went crazy. And so Jericho, he avoided Kingston in the match. And so Kingston and Suzuki, they went back and forth. So that was some really great stuff. Shota, he had hit the Avalanche Power Slam to Jericho, but Suzuki and Sammy, they had broke up the pin. And so Sammy, he had Floyd the Bat, and he hit Shota with Floyd the Bat. The referee clearly saw it, but the commentary team tried to play it off that Aubrey Edwards didn't see it and all that, but she really did see it. I saw her look at Sammy. But yeah, so that was a really confusing spot. So yeah, we had a gotch-style power driver to Eddie from Suzuki, which spiked him, dude. And then to end the match, Jericho, he had his finishing move, the Judas effect, to Shota to win the match. So therefore, Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Minoru Suzuki wins the match and will get a one-person advantage at the Blood and Guts match on Wednesday. The heels win the match, obviously. You know, heels always get the one-man advantage in War Games and Blood and Guts matches, so you kind of knew who was going to win this match. Right after that, we had the winner-take-all match, the winner-take-all tag team match for the IWGP Tag Team Championships and the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. Roppongi Vice, so that's Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero versus the United Empire, who are the IWGP Tag Team Champions, that's Jeff Cobb and Great O'Khan, versus FTR, who are the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, and the AAA Tag Team Champions as Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler. And so Caprice Coleman was on commentary. At one point, Dax, he had hurt his elbow. I thought he was legit hurt, you know, because they have a history of injuries, Cash and Dax. And so, yeah, so the doc went to go check on him. And so the doc had took Dax to the back. And so Cash, he had to fight for himself, and he was forced to tag in the Roppongi Vice. And so Dax, he had came back out with a taped up shoulder, and so the crowd had popped. And then Dax Harwood, he had took out the United Empire. And then everybody at that point, they were hitting each other with their signature moves. Roppongi Vice, they had their tag team finishing move, their strong zero to Cobb. And then Cash, he had broke up the pin. And so to end the match, we had FTR, they hit their finishing move, the big rig, to Rocky to win the match. So therefore, FTR wins the match and are still the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions and the new IWGP Tag Team Champions. This match was really great, man. Really great match. FTR, man, they made history. The only tag team to ever win the NXT Tag Team Championships, the Raw Tag Team Championships, the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, the AEW Tag Team Championships, the AAA Tag Team Championships, the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships, and now the IWGP Tag Team Championships. No other tag team can say that. No other tag team can say that, but FTR can say that. That's why they're the best tag team ever, man. They're one of the best tag teams today. Man, I said this about FTR. FTR was always my favorite tag team. Always liked those guys. When they first started in NXT, they were my favorite tag team, man. And look at them now, man. I made a comment and people laughed at my comment because I said FTR was the best tag team today. They're the only team, they're the only tag team to hold all those championships. What other tag team can say that? No, nobody. Congratulations to FTR. You kind of knew that they were going to win because look at the crowd reaction they got, man. They got freaking cheered out of the building. They got cheered out of the building. Like when they music hit, the crowd, they were freaking. The roof was about to freaking explode. Congratulations to FTR. They clearly deserve it, man. So right after that, we had Tony Schiavone. He was backstage. He interviews Jay White, who is the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, and Juice Robinson, the former IWGP United States Champion. Right after that, we had the All-Atlantic Championship Fatal 4-Way match. So the winner of this match will be the first ever All-Atlantic Champion, Clark Connors. It was supposed to be Tomohiro Ishii, but Ishii got injured, I believe, in the G1 Climax. Tomohiro Ishii, he was replaced by Clark Connors versus Pac versus Malachi Black versus Miro. At one point, Pac, he had threw Connors over the top rope, and that dude landed nasty outside the ring. And so Black, he had brought out a table, the crowd had popped. And then Connors, that dude came out of nowhere, man, and just speared Miro through the table, dude. And so, yeah, Connors, he had took out Pac and Black. And so we had a Let's Go Clark chant. Miro, he had the Machka kick to Pac. Miro had locked in the game over submission move to Pac. And then Black, he had the Black Mist. He had spit the Black Mist in Miro's face. Pac hit the 450 splash to Black. And then to end the match, Pac, he locked in a brutalizer submission move to counters to win the match. So therefore, counters tapped out. So therefore, Pac wins the match, and it's the first ever All-Atlantic champion. Great match, dude. Going into this match, dude, I said this on my Dynamite review. I couldn't tell you who was gonna win that match. I could not tell you who was going to win that match. Whoever won that match, they deserved to win that match. And that's what I loved about this match. It was so unpredictable, dude. To be a first ever champion, dude, that means a lot, man. That means a lot. Nobody can ever take that away from you. Nobody. And so right after that, we had a trios match. This was supposed to be a 8-man tag team match, but one of the members of the Dudes with Attitude, they got taken out. I think he got sick or something like that. I don't know. But he wasn't there. It was Shingo Takagi, Darby Allin, and Sting versus El Phantasmo and the Young Bucks. So the Young Bucks, they were a part of the Bullet Club for one night only. So the Young Bucks, that's Matt and Nick Jackson with Aew in their corner. So yeah, Tony Schiavone, he joined the commentary team for this match. When Sting music had played, he never came out. And so the Bullet Club theme music played, and so the lights had cut off. You saw the cameras pointing up at the rafters, and then you saw them pointed towards the entranceway. You saw Sting's shadow, and so he jumped off of the top of the tunnel, and he landed on the Bullet Club. That was a great sight, man. Aew, he got involved in this match. He wasn't even a part of the match. Referee didn't see it. And so, yeah, Sting, he had tagged in. He had took out the heels. El Phantasmo, he had a outside moonsault on everybody, man. This dude walked the top rope. He walked the top rope like it was nothing, man. And he just jumped and hit a moonsault, man. That was really impressive, man. Sting, he had blocked the BTE trigger. And then he had a double Scorpion death drop to the Bucks. And then Darby, he had took out Aew with a coffin drop outside the ring. And so to end the match, we had the last of the Dragon finishing move to Phantasmo from Shingo to win the match. So therefore, Shingo, Takagi, Sting, and Darby Allin wins the match. I'm going to say this too, man. With all these matches, dude, I did not take a lot of notes. Like, I couldn't, man. I could not take a lot of notes in this match. So right after that, we had Tony Schiavone. He had interviewed Shota Umino. So that's Jon Moxley's protege. Oh, man, come on, man. You about to blind the dude with a fireball. And so right after that, we had the AEW Women's World Championship match. And it was Toni Storm versus Thunder Rosa, who is the AEW Women's World Champion. Thunder Rosa hit the Stunner to Storm. And then Toni Storm, she hit the German suplex to Rosa on the ring apron. And then Toni Storm, she had a hip attack, a brutal hip attack to Rosa. She should use that move as a finishing move. She nailed it every freaking time, dude. It looks brutal every single time she hit it. Thunder Rosa, she had her finishing move, the Fire Thunder Driver to Storm. Storm's head hit that mat too, man. And that should have been it. That should have been it. But Storm had kicked out of that. And then Rosa, she went right after Storm's arm. And then to end the match, Thunder Rosa, she hit the Final Reckoning. So that's Dustin Rhodes' finishing move. The Final Reckoning to Storm to win the match. So shades of Dustin Rhodes, her mentor. Thunder Rosa's mentor, Dustin Rhodes. So therefore, Thunder Rosa wins the match and is still the AEW Women's World Champion. And so right after the match, Rosa, she showed respect to Storm, and that was it, man. This is a really good match, too. This is a really good match. I was expecting Toni Storm to win the match. Because Thunder Rosa, man, I'm telling you, man, she is doing nothing with that title. Nothing. Right after that, we had the IWGP United States Championship match. And it was Orange Cassidy versus Will Ospreay, who is the IWGP United States Champion and the British Rev Pro Champion. Aussie Open in his corner, so that's Mark Davis and Kyle Fletcher. So Jim Ross, he came out and he joined the commentary team for the rest of the night. We had a diving elbow to the back of Orange's head. Orange, he had a beautiful stunt dog millionaire to Ospreay, followed by a Mikinochu driver. And then Orange, he had took out the Aussie Open because they got involved in the match. And then Orange hit a diving DDT to Ospreay. He barely kicked out, man. And then Orange, this is funny right here, man. Orange, he had smashed Ospreay's head in the camera that was on a ring post. And so, yeah, Orange, he hit the beach break to Ospreay. Ospreay barely kicked out, man. That was a close one, man. Ospreay hit his finishing move, the hidden blade to Orange. Orange kicked out on the move, and Ospreay couldn't believe it. Everybody couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it either. Ospreay hit his other finishing move, the Stormbreaker, to Orange to win the match. So therefore, Will Ospreay wins the match and is still the IWGP United States Champion. And so yeah, this is probably one of my favorite matches, dude. Probably one of my favorite matches of the night. This was nothing but back and forth. Just like the match earlier in the buy-in, this match, it kind of made me believe that Orange Cassidy was gonna win the match. This is a really awesome match, dude. And then so right after the match, Aussie Open, they attacked Orange Cassidy. And then we had Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero. They came out and tried to save Orange, but they were taken out by the United Empire. And then we had Shibata's theme music hit from New Japan Pro Wrestling. He came out. The crowd was going crazy, man. And so, yeah, he took out members of the United Empire. And so Shibata and Orange Cassidy, they were in the ring face to face. Orange Cassidy, he took his sunshades and he put it on Shibata. And that was it, man. That was it. And so Orange Cassidy got out of the ring. Shibata told him to get back in the ring. And so he got back in the ring. I don't know what they try to do, but Orange Cassidy, he just got back out of the ring. And so right after that, we had Zack Sabre Jr. This was supposed to be Zack Sabre Jr. versus Bryan Danielson, but if you guys watch AEW Dynamite, Bryan, he has said that he wasn't medically cleared to compete, but he had a mystery opponent that he chose, and the mystery opponent would be the newest member of the Blackpool Combat Club, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Claudio Castagnoli, the former Cesaro, or the former Antonio Cesaro, whatever you want to call him. So Claudio Castagnoli, who is now the newest member of the Blackpool Combat Club. And so, yeah, I knew it was Cesaro, man. It was either Johnny Gargano or Cesaro, man. It was one of them. Cesaro is all elite, man. He's all elite. Claudio, I got to get used to calling him Claudio. I'm so used to calling him Cesaro, man. He's been Cesaro for years. So, yeah, Claudio, he had the neutralizer to Sabre Jr., and he kicked out, and I was like, man, yeah, there is no way they're going to end that match that fast. Sabre went after Cesaro's arm. This is a great spot right here, man. Claudio, he was locked in the triangle choke, and he was outside the ring, and so he had lifted up Sabre Jr., walked up the steps, walked on the ring apron, and he just threw Sabre Jr. back in the ring. And so, yeah, that was a really nice spot. And then everybody was waiting for that Cesaro swing, too, or the giant swing. Everybody was waiting for it, and so Cesaro, he hit it. And he swung like 6 times because, you know, his arm had gave out on him. And so to end the match, Cesaro hit his finishing move, the Ricola bomb to Sabre Jr. to win the match. So therefore, Claudio Castagnoli wins the match. Great seeing Cesaro in AEW, man. Claudio, he is a part of that Blood and Guts match. We're going to see him on AEW Dynamite this coming Wednesday. So right after that, we had the IWGP Heavyweight Championship Fatal 4-Way match. And it was Adam Cole versus Hangman Adam Page versus Kazuchika Okada versus Jay White, who is the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. We had Goto and Jay White's corner. So, yeah, Cole and White, they were working together. And then Cole, he had super kick Page in midair. Caught him right in the face, too. And then, you know, Cole and White, they turned on each other. Cole had turned on White first. He caught him with a backstabber, and it was literally a backstabber because he backstabbed, you know, his friend. White, he ended up taking out everybody. Goto got involved, and then Page had took out Goto. Page hit the Deadeye to White, and he followed it up with the buckshot lariat. And Okada, he had broke up the pin. Cole, he had super kicked everybody. Cole was a super kick machine. This spot right here, this is really confusing, man. Okada went for the Rainmaker finishing move, but Cole, he had collapsed before, you know, Okada could hit the move. Jay White hit his finishing move, the Blade Runner to Okada. This is when it got confusing, too. So White hit the Blade Runner on Okada, but instead White, he had pinned Adam Cole. White, he didn't hit the Blade Runner on Cole. He hit the Blade Runner on Okada. So, yeah, that was an odd ending to the match. It was a great match, but it was a odd ending. We did find out what happened with Cole. Like, at first, man, I didn't know, like, what happened to Cole. I didn't know what happened to Cole, but they ended up telling us, like, what happened to him. He took one of Okada's moves, the landslide, and Cole, he just landed awkwardly. And so that's what hurt him. We had the medical team. They went to go check on Cole. And so Cole, he ended up walking out on his own power. So, yeah, so that's a sign that he's okay. Glad that Adam Cole is okay. So right after that was the main event. The main event was for the AEW Interim World Championship. Jon Moxley with William Regal in his corner. Well, William Regal, he wasn't at ringside, but he was there. So Jon Moxley versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. So the winner of this match will be the Interim AEW World Champion. This is a great match too, man. Bloody match. Moxley, he had put Tanahashi through a timekeeper's table. And then, you know, Moxley, he was bleeding. I don't know what caused him to bleed, but he was bleeding all over his face. He was bleeding on his head. Dude had blood everywhere. Moxley hit the paradigm shift to Tanahashi, kicked out. Hiroshi Tanahashi hit the frog splash to Moxley, kicked out. Moxley locked in a bulldog choke to Tanahashi. And then Moxley hit the lariat, man. That freaking took his head off, man. Like, Moxley, he took his head off, man. Dude kicked out at 1, bro. Kicked out at 1, not 2, not 2.5, at 1. This dude kicked out at 1. And so, yeah, and then Moxley, he started hitting his elbow strikes to Tanahashi, and so the crowd started booing. Moxley locked in the sleeper hold. And then to end the match, Moxley hit the paradigm shift or the Death Rider, what they call it in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Death Rider to Tanahashi to win the match. So therefore, Jon Moxley wins the match, and it's the new AEW World Champion, or the AEW Interim World Champion. Right after the match, Moxley and Tanahashi, they embraced. Chris Jericho and Daniel Garcia, they came out and they attacked Moxley and Tanahashi. And then we had Eddie Kingston, he came out to save Moxley and Tanahashi. Santana Ortiz and Rhea Yuta, they came out to attack Garcia and Jericho. And then that's when the rest of the Jericho Appreciation Society came out to attack the faces. And then Claudio Castagnoli, his music played. So he came out, he took out the JAS. Claudio, he had spun Parker like 20 times, dude. That's the most Cesaro swings that he did tonight. So he swung Parker like 20 times. And yeah, and that was it, man. That was it with that. And so Claudio, if you guys saw it, Claudio and Kingston, they were arguing with each other. And Eddie Kingston, of course, he don't like Claudio for whatever reason, I don't know. But, you know, he been saying it on social media. He made it quite clear that he doesn't like this dude, a guy that Bryan had brought in. And, of course, Eddie Kingston don't like Bryan Danielson either. I don't think Eddie Kingston like anybody, man. I don't think he like anybody. But, yeah, he was arguing with Claudio. I guess he was asking him, what are you doing here? Like, what are you doing? Sticking your nose in our business. This should be really good. They are not going to get along, man, against the Jericho Appreciation Society in that Blood and Guts match. Oh, yeah, and another thing I forgot to mention, dude. Claudio Castagnoli actually took out Jake Hager. Jake Hager and Claudio Castagnoli, they're former tag team partners in the Real Americans in WWE. They were a great tag team, man. They were a great tag team in WWE. They should have been the tag team champions. The fact that they haven't held the tag team championships in WWE, man, that is a freaking sin, dude. They were freaking over, man. The Real Americans were, man. They were over, bro. So yeah, it was nice. It was nice seeing them have a little interaction. That was it with AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling, the Forbidden Door. And just like what I said before, man, this was an awesome show, man. Awesome show. Everybody killed it tonight, man. Nothing but bangers and matches, man. Claudio Castagnoli is All Elite, and he's the newest member of the Blackpool Combat Club, new All Atlantic Champion, Impact, and a new AEW World Champion, and Jon Moxley. And then we have new IWGP Tag Team Champions in FTR. So FTR, they have all the gold. FTR have all the Tag Team Championships gold. And yeah, man. And just like what I said too, man, they should do the Forbidden Door every single year. And I think they will. I think they have over 100,000 buys is what I heard. Over 100,000 buys with this pay-per-view. This pay-per-view is actually worth the money. Absolutely, man. Worth the money. And if you missed it, dude, if you missed the Forbidden Door, man, you missed one hell of a show, man. You missed one hell of a show. But yeah, guys, that was it with the Forbidden Door 2022 review on The Ryan Awesome Show. And yeah, man, if you liked this video, hit the thumbs up, man. What are you waiting for? Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, if you're watching The Ryan Awesome Show for the first time ever, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you're the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded, because I'm here each and every single week, man. And if you guys miss anything, everything is on the homepage. And yes, guys, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. Blood and Guts is this Wednesday. So yeah, man. So Dynamite this coming Wednesday is going to be a big Dynamite show. So I'll see you guys on Wednesday for Dynamite. And yeah, guys, and once again, guys, thank you for the love and the support for the show. Thank you, and thank you. And yeah, and this has been The Ryan Awesome Show. Take care. Stay safe. Don't forget to be awesome. And that's that.